What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Hit the Keys, here today to talk about why a lifelong Android user switched to iPhone 17 Pro. I'm here to let you guys know what my initial thoughts are, any hiccups I've had, what are the positives, what are the negatives, am I going to stay with the iPhone or am I going to get a Samsung Galaxy 26 when it comes out? I'm here today to tell you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly. I did choose to get the hot orange Fanta Sunburst Deluxe edition of the iPhone 17. I don't care what nobody says. I like the way that it looks. Never had an orange phone before, so thought we'd grab it. Stop not to like it in the future. We could just throw a black case on this thing. I am currently switching from a Samsung Galaxy 21 FE. So I didn't have the top of the line Galaxy, and this is a 4-year-old phone. So I've had this phone for 4 years now. And you may be asking, what made you change from Android to iPhone? Well, I'm gonna let you guys know straight up and down, there was a deal and I needed a new phone. So Xfinity was offering free phone service for their internet customers, and I got that. And then when I ended up going there, they had a deal for like 500 off for an iPhone. And I was like, it's kind of time for me to get a new phone because this Samsung Galaxy FE, the Wi-Fi stopped working on it. So as you know, I'm a content creator. It's frustrating when you have a phone and the Wi-Fi is not working because then you can't just upload things, to the internet very easily because the Wi-Fi is not working. So I can't use Drive and a bunch of other things to upload stuff. So super frustrating. The camera sucked. So this is a FE. It's not a Galaxy, 23, 24, 25, which they do have good cameras, but the camera on this phone sucked. So when I'm doing top-down views for my content and I'm trying to get stuff, it just has this like glare in it. It's just not good. So I needed a phone that was gonna have a good camera that I could use for like top-down or doing side views, or I wanna start doing like music videos and stuff. So I can set this one up while I have my other phone going, and it just makes it so much easier for some of the things I'm trying to do. It doesn't work well with a MacBook. So I have a 20 or 2021 MacBook Air and M1, and I've been using that for about 4 years now. Absolutely love it, but this phone sucks using it with it. It just doesn't coordinate well. So every time I got to get a video off of this from shooting top down, I got to plug this into my PC, put it on my Samsung T7, and then I got to bring it over into my MacBook to edit videos or do whatever I'm doing with it. Just something that I was kind of sick and frustrated with. I couldn't get any more updates on this because there was no Wi-Fi. It wasn't letting me get updates right. The Wi-Fi wasn't actually an issue with the motherboard, and it was going to cost like 180 bucks to fix. So we weren't going to do that. And the ringer and the notifications didn't work on this anymore either. So there was a lot of reasons why I figured I might as well switch to this since I already have a MacBook, and I heard about how great the compatibility is with a MacBook, and you're at your iPhone or your iPad or whatever you have, your iWatch or whatever it is that you have from Apple. I've just heard how great the compatibility was. So I figured let's go ahead and give it a try, because if you don't like it, they have the upgrade plan so you can upgrade your phone twice a year with Xfinity. So if you didn't like this, you could just go back to Galaxy and get an S26 when it comes out. So I got it, I grabbed it, and you're probably wondering what my first impressions are. Well, my first impressions on, before we get to first impressions, let me just make this clear, all right? You're not gonna get no Cinebench marks or none of that in this review today. This is just a 40-year-old something's opinion on what he thinks about his phone. And y'all heard some Facebook notifications going off in the background. Let me go ahead and drop that menu real quick. All right, so my initial impressions on this, when I saw it, I love the way that it looked. I love the color. It felt good in my hand. I'm kind of thrown off a little bit with the bump on the camera, but I'm somebody who always uses a case. So I actually ordered the case before I got the phone. We'll get to that story at the end of the video. But I actually ordered the case and got it like a couple weeks before I got the phone. So I put the glass protector and everything on there. I do typically keep all my phones in good condition. As you see here, I've had this FE for 4 years. It's in good shape. It has one crack in it. And then this is the phone that I had before I got the FE, right? So this phone right here is the reason why I got the iPhone Pro 17 instead of the Pro Max, was because I didn't want a phone in my pocket that was gonna be this big. So I didn't want it to be that much bigger because it feels like a brick in my pocket. I wear a lot of sweatpants. So this iPhone is more of like the same size as my FE. As you guys can see, they're almost like the same height. Another one of the initial impressions was that this one was a little bit thicker than the Samsung. You know what I'm saying? But it's all right. I'm a brother. You know, I like things a little thick. So it being a little bit thicker, I actually appreciate more because now as I have the iPhone in my hand, when I go back and forth and I go back to the Galaxy, this thing just feels so thin in my hand. I like the feel, you know what I'm saying, of this one a little bit better. Another one of my first impressions was that when I grabbed the phone, I picked it up and I just picked up everything in the phone very quickly. Since I already had a MacBook, it was really easy for me to just grab the iPhone and then start going through it, going through the apps, recognizing what everything was because I have all these apps on my MacBook already. So it's like, you know what everything is. You kind of know the feel that you're gonna get on the phone too as it is. So if you do have a MacBook and you have an Android and you never thought about switching or you never thought about it, I'm gonna tell you what, the things that this did automatically, some more of my first impressions because it was first day. As I was coming home, as soon as you enter in your Apple ID in the phone, now everything is linked up together, right? So everything is working. So when I came home and I was just testing stuff out because I wanted to see how it was gonna be with a stream, as I wanted to start using this to do IRL stuff, like if I'm sitting at the computer working on some music or something, and now we're doing an all-day stream, so I want to go in the kitchen and I want to cook and everything. It was hard for me to do with my previous setup because again, this phone has no Wi-Fi, so I can't connect this to anything, and nobody's trying to drag computers around and do all that stuff to be doing no IRL stream. So with this, as soon as I clicked into my Streamlabs and I went to go find a camera, this was already in there. So it was already ready to receive this camera. And when I clicked on this camera, it just gave me a notification that said your phone is now stream recording. And then bam, now I'm recording off this phone and I'm getting this through my feed of my stream, which is fire because I can hook up a wireless mic and now I can go do whatever I want to. So now I can do multiple things and it allows for me to stream and not just only be a desktop streamer. So I know a lot of typical people who are getting these phones, they're not getting it for that reason, but I just thought I would mention that because for me, this is gonna be my secondary camera for my content creation to where I can do top downs or I can do side views or I can get B-roll as the main roll is going and it just gives it a different flow in whatever kind of video I'm doing. I just think that that was fire. All right, guys, editor something here. I forgot a couple of things that I wanted to mention in the video and I noticed as I was editing, so I thought I would just come back and fire up the camera real quick. So two things on my initial impression that I really liked were the Face ID with this. So, and that's gonna go into the next one with the apps. So like the Face ID with my banking app, so when I go into Delta Community, before with the Samsung, I would have to use the fingerprint and then I would have to enter in my password, then I'd have to use the fingerprint again. And so it was just like a longer process than I liked. But with this, I don't even have to do anything. As soon as I hit the app and it sees my face, it just opens the app up. And so then that goes into another thing that I like about this is the way that this is responsive to a lot of the apps. So like a lot of the apps look better. They're more optimized because, you know, the developers only have to optimize their software for one or two iPhones, you know, different types or whatever the case is, versus having to set everything up and make sure everything's working for every kind of Android phone. So it makes these apps run a little bit smoother, a little bit cleaner. I've noticed that with like Facebook, and I'm not really irritated with stuff being at the bottom of the screen versus the top of the screen because I'm just already used to Apple being backwards, so everything being on the left versus the right. So something else that I wanted to mention was just the compatibility with apps and then the way that the Face ID just works. One thing that I will say about this phone is that the battery life is incredible. So with the battery life on this, I had the phone on the other day, not yesterday, but the day before. I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I used the phone heavily all day long. I didn't go to sleep till about 11:15, 11:30 at night. So that's about being awake, but about 18 hours of using the phone. And the battery life only got down to 18%. So again, you're gonna get great battery life with this. I know with all phones, you're really getting good battery life at this time. I mean, I know with this Samsung FE, I got good battery life with it. I mean, it wasn't all day or nothing like that, but I don't feel like I was charging my phone a lot. Like I feel like if I woke up to a charged phone, it would last pretty much almost the whole day. So maybe I might have to charge it sometimes. But again, I'm not somebody who is always on my phone. I'm just giving you guys that information because I'm not trying to seem like I'm a tech bro or nothing like that. I'm just trying to give you guys the opinion of somebody who's got a new phone. You know what I'm saying? And let you know what I think about my past phones. So, other things that I guess I didn't mention with the compatibility with the MacBook and everything like that is that, like, let's say my phone's in the other room and I'm back here and I'm working on something and I have my headphones on and I don't hear my phone ring. Well, it's going to ring through my MacBook, or I'll get my text messages through my MacBook. And that's pretty dope. At first, I didn't know if I really thought that would be dope or fire or whatnot. But now that it's going on, I think it's pretty solid because I caught a couple calls that I didn't want to miss. Another thing is Apple Pay. Since, if you have like a Samsung, you don't, the Google Wallet is trash. You know what I'm saying? It's straight cheeks. So Apple Pay works great. Granted, I have a tap, you know what I'm saying, card. So I just pull my wallet out and just tap my wallet. It works fine. But the fact that I don't even have to take my wallet if I don't want to now, I can just take my phone and just use my phone to pay. Another plus to this, some cons are, what's up with y'all's typing? Like, I'm cool with the keyboard, right? The keyboard's cool with me. I don't really have no problems with the swiping, the keyboard, all that, right? But it's like when you're in the screen, like with an Android, like let's say I spell out a word, I can put the cursor right between the T and the H. But with the iPhone, just the standard settings, it just wants to select the whole word, or it wants to do everything but go to the letter that I might need to fix if I misspelled something? So like, I get it, they have spell check and stuff, but again, I'm a brother. We don't always use proper spelling. We don't always use proper grammar. So it's like, sometimes I just want to fix one letter. So I probably might be able to fix that. I don't know. There might be some kind of app, keyboard app or whatever, some customization. I just wanted to use everything the first 7 days, regular, so that I can compare out the box to what I would do with an Android, because out the box, I'm going to keep my Android as it is. So that's something that I think, could be better. Obviously, the scratchability, I'm not really, again, not too worried about the scratchability of the phone because I'm going to keep it covered in a case. Again, you guys see this phone's 4 years old. It has one scratch in the screen. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not really too worried about the scratchability of the phone and anything like that. So, the speaker's dope to me. It's clear. It has good clarity. As you guys can look in the background, if you've never followed my channel before, obviously I care about sound and stuff like that. So the actual clarity that you get out of this speaker is the best probably speaker I've heard on a phone. Granted, I haven't heard every phone, but it's probably the best quality that I've heard. And the real main reason that I grabbed the phone is obviously the camera on this thing. You know what I'm saying? They got three 48 megapixel cameras. The video is much more clear. So again, I'm not here as a tech bro trying to sell you on this or sell you on that. I do know, to the trained eye, because I'm not the trained eye, but they say that certain things look better on the Galaxy, like with the photos and all that other stuff, and how some things are washed out, and how some things it's too AI on whether it's this phone, the Pixel, or the Samsung. So they all have different differences that people talk about. I can't really tell the difference except for like when you go like 100 meters and there's one little fuzzy thing in one picture and there's not, but that's not what I'm here looking for with the phone. I'm looking for like the video capabilities. And I have noticed that with the video capabilities, it shows more of detail when I'm recording. And that's kind of what I want when I'm doing top-down views. I want everything to be detailed. So it's getting all the letters of the board properly, whatever's on the screen that it's reading, I want it to get that stuff. So for me, that's why the camera was so important, was because of the video function. Another part with the phone is that I needed this Apple ProRes. So I needed the Apple Log or the Apple ProRes so that I can match up, you know what I'm saying, different, my other camera with this one when I'm shooting videos and all other things. And for me, that was a very, very important part about getting a Pro over just the regular 17. I wanted to make sure I mentioned this because you might not need the Pro. Like if you're just looking for the camera, if you're looking for the, you know, all the stuff that it basically does, the regular iPhone will get the job done for you. But if you're looking for like ProRes and you want to do like some, you know, you want to mess with the colors and all that other stuff, then you might want to go ahead and upgrade to this one. And that selfie function is fire. So you know how they have the function now where you can have the camera like this, right? And you are in selfie mode and you're recording something, but you can make the camera screen go to landscape. So even though you still have it, you know what I'm saying, like this, you can now get it in landscape. So it's got that, what is it, a 18 megapixel square sensor. So it allows it to, you know what I'm saying, take the picture like this or like this, even though the phone's like this. And so that's nice for if you're doing content or like, let's say I'm live streaming, right? And I'm assuming this works on the live stream, but like, let's say I'm live streaming, right? And some people just roll up on me or whatnot, right? Now I can, bam, I can just expand the screen and now everybody's in the picture. I guess that wouldn't be the best use case though, because then you'd have to mess with the settings and whatever. But you get what I'm saying. You could still do a lot of dope stuff. So what are my final thoughts on the iPhone, I guess, after a week? Is it something I plan on keeping? Do I plan on going back to Galaxy? Is it iPhone? Is it Galaxy? What's it gonna be? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm probably gonna rock with this iPhone for a little bit. And I'm giving it a good review after a lot of frustration because you guys know customer service can really impact how you feel about getting an item. So when I got this phone, again, the reason I got this phone is because it was $500 off. And I just know I needed a new phone. So I went and got the phone. I went to Xfinity. And I figured I would just go there because I would be able to get the phone that I wanted to get. I wanted to get the iPhone Pro. I wanted to get the 512 gigabyte version. And I wanted to come home that day and be done with it, right? So I go and they don't have any 512 gigabyte phones in the store. So I got to order it from Xfinity. And it's Saturday afternoon. It's January 10th was the day. And I'm like, fine. They're like, it's gonna be there by Monday, maybe Tuesday at the latest. I'm like, you know what? I've already had this phone for so long. That's cool. So I end up waiting and Tuesday comes and my phone's out for delivery from FedEx, freaking FedEx, the worst delivery company there is, but it's out for delivery and it doesn't come. So then Wednesday, they don't even check it back in. So at this point, I kind of know the phone's lost because I get a lot of stuff shipped here from FedEx and I know when stuff gets lost. So I call them and they're like, yeah, it hasn't come back in, but it says it's out for delivery. It'll come today. I got an email from FedEx that said it was going to come today. It did not come. So long story short, the phone did not come. FedEx and Apple and Xfinity were all disputing the phone being lost. And I didn't end up getting this phone until January 27th. So I went to get it on the 10th. And I didn't actually get it in my hands until the 27th because I had to go back to Xfinity and just get a 256 gigabyte phone because I didn't get this phone. So ultimately, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not here to sell y'all anything. A phone's a phone, right? Apple didn't send me this. I went through a whole bunch of trouble to get it. A phone's a phone. I mean, if you got a good iPhone 16, 15, you might not need to upgrade to the 17. If you got a Samsung, I mean, you know, I'm not here to tell you to switch from any. I'm just giving you guys my first impression, and I really like this iPhone. I'm gonna keep this thing. I probably won't upgrade for 3-4 years unless I get into tech YouTube. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. I appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Some, hit the key.